I look in the mats downstairs right before we walked up. It's just every type of background, and in terms of occupation and race and religion, education, whatever, it's all being represented.
Yeah. You know, you talk about wrestling. You mentioned wrestling. You wrestled for a year, your senior year at Hoover.
Yeah.
How was the wrestling back then? The wrestling program at Hoover. How many matches did you have for the season?
I don't even remember how many matches. Probably like a dozen or so. I was like decent at it.
So you didn't. You didn't have just one, like the duels. You had like some tournaments and stuff too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had some. It was my first actually experience in competing too.
Okay.
Because before that, I never competed in the sport. And it's funny too, because at first I was just like, I don't like competing. The anxiety, the pressure of it, but it actually kind of piqued my interest, and it was more so kind of one of the aspects that I found interesting about competing at the time that still carried over is just like it's a team journey, as much as like martial arts is an individual sport.
Correct. Yeah.
Like you're going with your group of your school, your gym. You go together, and as much as they're supporting you by cheering you on and warming you up and hyping up in your match and like everything afterwards, you're doing the same for them. And that's what kind of also kickstarted years later my own kind of competitive run in jiu-jitsu. It wasn't until like I think I competed once or twice at white belt, but more so at blue and purple. I competed a lot. I competed a lot in just about no-gi mainly, maybe like one, I think, gi tournament. But it was just mostly in the no-gi scene. Sub only, I think, one IBJJF, and just getting that exposure. And that's actually something that got me to really fall in love with the competitive side of jiu-jitsu. Competing myself and also just following the scene. The ADCC competitors, the sub only as well too. I've actually went to the last 3 ADCCs. That's been cool.
Last one was in Vegas. The one before that was in Vegas, and the one before that was in Anaheim. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. Once Mo got involved,
that changed everything.
Yeah. The one in Anaheim is different. I think the one before that was in China.
I think so. Or 2013 was China.
Okay. Yeah. Either way, it was a different level before and after, right?
Before it was a high school gymnasium, and now it's a T-Mobile arena.
Yeah.
Now it's like
but even so, like the Anaheim, like that
was big. The convention center there.
Yeah, and then the what was the UNLV Mac? What's it called?
The Mac Center.
Mac Center. Yeah,
they did CGI there last time.
Right. But they had the ADCC the year before,
that.
and they had the Pride announcer. Yeah, the UFC Bruce Buffer, UFC announcer. Fireworks, pyro. You know what's it called? Pyrotechnics.
Yeah.
What's it called? Pyro.
The fire and like the lights and everything.
But just the whole production, right? The guys with the uniforms and the lineup. It was like the Olympics. You know, they say, it's the Olympics of our sport of grappling. Okay, cool. But you know, at China they had like the mats coming apart, and it was like nobody cared, you know. And there's supposedly all this money behind it, but it didn't look like it at the highest level, right?
Right.
But the athletes were there, right?